Let's be honest, cheap off-brand lighting gear isn't usually my thing. The last time I tested lamps under $200, I couldn't help but roast them on camera. As someone with access to professional-grade equipment in my studio, why would I even bother with budget gear? Well, this time I had a specific need, something small, portable and practical for my home setup. So against my better judgment, I decided to give these lights a try. These inflatable tube lights, while undeniably quirky, actually work really well. Inflatable lights have been gaining traction thanks to Aputure's Infinity Matte, popularizing the concept, and these are probably the first from the cheap alternatives lineup. Despite it being kinda funny concept to blow your lighting rod, it's surprisingly effective. In fact, the Aputure lights are already widely used in professional productions. Obviously, these are sub $100 lights, and I cannot attest for its durability, but oh boy, this caught me off guard with their performance. Additionally, there is hardly any alternative in the prosumer space, and that's a material for success. So these are 20 watts bicolor inflatable tube lights with a built-in battery. They give you about an hour of runtime on a full charge. If you have worked with tube lights from big brands, you will know they seem practical, but they are often heavy and tricky to set up. You need a bunch of different sizes to fit different spaces, especially if you are using them as motivated light sources in a scene. But these little guys, they are lightweight, super portable and easy to handle. They don't have an RGB version yet, which might be a deal breaker for some, but I don't really mind. I prefer to add color in other ways. The light quality isn't perfect. You will notice some magenta or greenish tints depending on the settings, but it's manageable. Definitely fine for smaller productions or YouTube. 20 watts of power is plenty for a lamp this size, and you can plug it into USB power delivery if you need it to run longer. Speaking of USB power, there's quick charging, and it even gives you the exact power readings. Honestly, that's the kind of feature you would expect in expensive gear, so props for Ulanzi for including it in something this cheap. The lamp also has built-in magnets, which makes attaching it to any metal stand super easy. And there are loops if you want to hang it. And it's water resistant, which could come in handy if you are shooting outside or experimenting with water effect. The whole inflating idea is quite good, frankly. It makes the light way lighter than traditional tube lights, and it's flexible. You can even inflate it halfway to get a soft, bendable fixture that fits into really tight spaces. That's not something you will find with most other lights, especially at this size and price point. If you want a more traditional setup, it comes with a magnetic grip too, but honestly the flexibility of inflatable design is where these lights shine. I bought 3 of them, and every time I've used them, they fit into spots where nothing else would work. It's kind of amazing how practical these cheap little lights are. I feel that Ulanzi, similarly to companies like Nanlite or Godox in the past, tries to create increasingly more prosumer-grade hardware, and it is a good step in that direction. On top of tube lights, I also picked up another light, a 40-watt bicolor point source that you can see in the back. It's a small, straightforward lamp with a reflector and a little rubber diffuser. Nothing fancy, I just wanted a stronger point light, so I grabbed it. Here's what surprised me though, it has a built-in battery. It's not unheard of for small lights to have battery, but something this cheap? And it gives you almost an hour of runtime unplugged. Currently, all of these lights are set to 20 to 40% of their power, and they can run for a few hours like that. There's also an RGB version of this little light behind me, if that's your thing, but I went with the bicolor model that is also cheaper. All in all, I spent $210 on these 4 lights, including the tube lights and the point source, plus European taxes. For what I got, that's a crazy deal. If you are just starting out or need to improve your lighting setup without breaking the bank, this is a solid option. These lights aren't perfect, but for the price, they are very practical. Whether you are shooting YouTube videos, small productions, or just need some backup lights, they are worth checking out.